Why is it so blown out? Hold up. Hello, I am back in my roots, which is the Best Buy parking lot. And this is the first video ever with my new camera, and I just got a fancy SD card that allows me to record in 4K HD. I also got this dongle thing so I can finally listen to music in my mom's car. This is crazy because this is the first time in my life, my 21 years of life, that I have a camera that actually works and like can record for more than 5 minutes at a time. Anyways, I have been waiting until this camera arrived because I traded in my gear in order to film this video, which is my 1,000 subscriber special. We hit 1,000 subscribers way back in April, but basically school was so hectic at that time that I decided to wait until I had this camera and I was back in the States so I could record this video. So thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, assuming that half of these people are not, I don't know, like bots. That is a lot of people. That's like a high school auditorium amount of people, which is crazy if you think about it. A lot of people, even though I don't have that many subscribers, I get DMs quite frequently saying that I really like your videos and I really enjoy hearing about your study abroad experience and stuff like that, and that makes me really happy. So hopefully with this video you can get to know me a little bit better and I'm not just another floating head on a YouTube video showing you like, oh, look at me, like I'm traveling and my life is so great, because let me tell you, 95% of the time I'm not in Portugal, I'm not in Spain, I'm grinding in the school library or worrying about where I'm gonna live next. So let me get some basics out of the way. Hi, my name is Nina, I'm 21 years old, I'm American, and I'm currently studying abroad at University of Amsterdam, Communication Science. I asked people on my Instagram account if they had any questions for this, so if you want to see more photos or possibly if I do another Q&A, you should definitely check that out because I put a lot of work into the film photos I post on Instagram as well. So let's get into the questions, shall we? New location. Hi-key, I'm afraid I'm going to be kicked out of here, but because I'm not a child anymore, I can't be here. But this question I'm answering is, what are your goals for this channel? Which, oh no, the moment I start recording, it becomes windy. So I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm like, I want to make art or videos of value. Like, I kind of feel like that thing of, see, there are actually children here. I don't know if I can record this because I feel like oh, look at me, my life is so amazing and I'm getting matcha with my friends vlog type stuff has sort of been done to death. But of course I want to strike a happy balance where I am recording some things for myself for like memory's sake, because I want to be able to look back on my college experience when I'm older. So this is like the tier list I've come up with. So tier 1 is like the video that is the most amount of work, which is a sort of documentary style video with film photography of me exploring a new place or going into a place in depth. The second level is just like a uni vlog, things I'm doing in Amsterdam, which is more for me, kind of like more selfish, I guess, which it's like, oh, this is just me and my daily life and what I'm doing at this point in my life. And then the lowest one is just like an occasional silly vlog, just because, and this vlog has like the least amount of editing and color grading and stuff like that. So I guess my goal for my channel is to create things that will be timeless. Like, be more timeless, not just following trends of top 10 things to do in Amsterdam. I'm not vocalizing this very well, but those are my tier lists for the channel. He only wants me for my bagel. Bagel monster. I got this question 3 times, which was, would you consider yourself a content creator? And honestly, It was never been my goal in life to be a content creator. I've always wanted to be an artist. And I feel like I might share my thoughts on this topic when it's more actualized, but my hot take is a lot of people end up being a content creator when their original goal was to be an artist, because it is somewhat creative, but I feel like they're forced to spend more time making videos of them being like behind the scenes instead of actually like painting or taking photos or whatever their medium is. Also, the word content creator is like an empty word. It's like has a non-meaning because anyone can be a content creator. Like taking a shit in the toilet is like making content. So I don't know if I would consider myself a content creator. I would say that I am trying my best to be an artist in a world that has a goldfish attention span, and I really hope that I can reach an audience that does not have a goldfish attention span somehow. Do you regret choosing to study abroad for college? Although it has been difficult sometimes, and let me tell you, real fucking difficult, like housing issues, budget problems, like not kiddie problems, like adult issues, like how am I going to eat, how am I going to make this rent, where am I going to live. I don't regret my decision because I really feel like I have grown so much as a person, and I don't think that I would have made these leaps and bounds in understanding myself and how I would act in certain situations if I had played it extremely safe and just stayed in state and went to like University of Oregon or something like that. Also, with COVID, I had to make my college decisions time towards the last leg of COVID, and due to like personal stuff, my grades really tanked at the end, so I only got into my safeties, which were like University of Portland, University of Oregon, OSU, and stuff like that. So I didn't want my college experience to be high school 2.0 with essentially the same kids, except I'm paying $10K a semester for it. So that also really pushed me to make the decision because I had always wanted to travel the world and to try this experience. I did like a test run essentially of this when I went to Japan when I was 16 years old for the summertime. I don't think that I would have made the jump so soon to choose to study abroad or to live abroad by myself from such a young age if it wasn't for that extreme crossroads situation that I was at because of the pandemic. Hi, this is Editing Nina, and I just wanted to put a quick cut clip in here to slightly elaborate on what I meant by like the crossroads of life. Essentially, I truly think there is no such thing as perfect timing, and if you were to wait until like all of the quote unquote factors lined up perfectly, like, oh, I have enough money saved up and all of like everything is lined up perfectly, like that doesn't exist and that's never going to happen. And if you wait for that quote unquote perfect moment, then nothing is ever going to get done. So sometimes I believe you truly just have to take the jump, even though it's really scary, but it's, you know, deep down it's what you want. And I think either way it's going to be scary if you stay in a environment that is not serving you and you feel really trapped in that place. That's also scary and horrible, right? So I think it's better to experience the scariness of growth and doing something that you've always wanted to do instead. Okay, now on with the video. Although it has been hard, I do not regret the decision overall. Until you are forced to be in a situation, when you are living abroad by yourself as a young adult, like early 20s, late teens, I feel like it's sort of been compressed because you have to figure out everything so fast by yourself. And when you're living abroad, you sort of discover aspects about yourself that you would have normally never had to come across because you know how everything works in your home country obviously better than a foreign country. And so I think this leads to me knowing myself deeper and understanding how my gears work as my own person. So, and I think that comes from experiencing unpleasant things, unfortunately. But I am glad that I have grown from this. and I'm saying that it does not need to be a traumatic experience from being abroad for you to learn things about yourself. I think just putting yourself in a different situation, in a like something that you're a little bit uncomfortable with, will make you grow, and that is a good thing. We are now driving on my favorite island, and I am going to answer the question. One second, let me reverse. The question is, has living abroad changed your perspective in life in both the creative world and reality? Well, I think the obvious one is when you live abroad, you're exposed to different cultures than yourself, and it's not just Dutch culture, it's like a lot of European culture and different Asian cultures as well, because there are so many international students. And I am also in the international track, so I'm not with like Dutch kids in my class essentially. And I think that helps you you need that exposure and just sort of life experience to make good art. Otherwise, I think that your products is kind of empty. Like, essentially what I'm saying is, I think that you need to live life also to be able to make good art, not just like keep yourself cooped up in your room constantly. Like, you have to sort of force yourself out and like take yourself out, which I think I do that with photography. In my personal life, I think it's really helped me decenter myself and make me realize that I'm not the center of the universe, which sounds really obvious, but I think it took me leaving to realize that there are so many more things at play other than my own personal issues. And when you're in more of a global context, then you realize that and you stop being in your head. So that is what I've learned. Okay, recording. Waiting for the airplane to pass. This person asks, how do you know when to find time in your day to vlog and know what moments to record? Well, I feel like vlogging or like shoving a camera in someone's face is an inherently unnatural thing to do. And I think also mustering up the courage and just like the audacity to pull out a camera in public is sometimes the hardest thing to overcome. And I know this is ridiculous advice and probably everyone says this, but like if you want to do it, you just have to fucking do it and like don't care if people stare at you if you do want to get the shot. But also at the same time, you need to sort of balance it, because like it is sort of weird to monopolize, I guess, off these seemingly natural moments of you and your friends, or you just like casually being by yourself, but you're not actually by yourself because there's a camera in front of you, so it's unnatural obviously. But I think that what I found works best for me, there is a bee or a wasp like terrorizing me. Leave me alone. I think what really works for me personally is it is a muscle. You definitely need to get used to it. Also, I think having a very, very small camera setup works the best, which is why often, even though I did own a DSLR, I recently traded in for this really small Sony camera. You would find me being on my phone most often, vlogging with my phone, because people look at you the least amount if you just pull out your phone to take a photo or a video, because nowadays everyone does that. Obviously, if your friends are going to be in your video, you should ask them, like, are you fine with being filmed? But I only film with friends that I'm really, really comfortable with, and I know that they don't mind, and I've asked them beforehand, which is why you'll probably see the same people over and over again in my videos, because I don't know, I'm not gonna shove a camera in a person's face who I'm not familiar with and make them uncomfortable. So yeah, at first I would recommend only filming with your close friends and finding secluded areas like this to film in. If you watch my Portland video, you'll probably recognize this area.
That is my answer, and I need to leave now because this bee is terrorizing me.
Let me get out of the area where all the dogs are barking before I answer this question in the car. The question is, what made you want to start making videos / vlogging? You guys really love asking extremely packed questions, but I shall unpack it for you. So, I think what made it, there are two reasons of why I started vlogging. I don't consider myself a vlogger, just as I don't really consider myself a content creator, but I do make vlogs. Yes, I do make vlogs. Okay, I make vlogs, right? I don't like the word vlog. It's cringe to me. The first reason why is that making videos is the best I can do with the resources given to me, because like anyone can make a video with their phone now, anyone can buy a camera to an extent and like make something. So it's like, oh, I don't have any connections in the film industry, my parents don't know anyone, like no, we don't have any connections to the entertainment industry at all, so I guess this is the best way for me to start, and also to like get my reps in, because I just think that you just need to practice, right? And this is the easiest way for me to practice making videos of any sort next to my study, which is like 5 days a week, and I also am studying on the weekends as well. But the second reason is obviously to record my life, because I realized towards the end of high school, which we were also coming out of the panini, that sort of nothing you can take for granted and your life can change extremely quickly. And so in addition to me like going at a sort of unorthodox route for my secondary education, I wanted to record all of that, so that is why I started making videos. Its bark is so interesting. It kind of looks like beef jerky, but you can pull it off.
Okay, I cannot see myself because of the glare, but I'm sitting on a park bench in Forest Park, and I shall answer the question, how are you? How are you doing? I'll answer this in a general sense as a little yearly reflection of the past school year. I think this past year has been the best, and I guess I would say the quote-unquote most successful year since me moving abroad, because I finally found a major which I like, yay, and I got my BSA, which means Binding Study Advice, which is 48 credits, so yay, they can't kick me out, because a little background information, in Holland, you need to get a certain amount of credits in the first year, otherwise they don't let you continue on. So I have to retake statistics in the fall, and I'm not really looking forward to that. On this subject of it being the most quote-unquote successful year, I really feel like it took longer than I thought, or like the plan I had in my head, for me to be all settled in a new country. And when that didn't go to plan, I really beat myself up about it and really internalized it and felt like a huge failure when I didn't have like, I don't know, a really nice place to be in, to live in, and a really cool friend group and stuff like that, because that shit takes time and it happens really quickly. Like, you either meet someone and you become friends and it's all great and fantastic, and sometimes that happens within like the first 2 weeks of school, but sometimes it can take a year and a half to make a fully fledged friend group, or more than a year and a half, and that's not a reflection on you as a person, is what I learned. Yeah, I deadass thought when I moved there everything would be fine within like the first half year and it'd be fantastic, but a lot of these things weren't in my control and I internalized it, such as the housing thing and the school thing of me not liking the initial major I chose when I went into University of Amsterdam. But things just take time, and if you have a really strict deadline in your head, of course you have this expectation, and when that's not met, it will hurt you. But I guess this year I learned to not let it be a reflection of myself, because that is the whole point of why you're in the school system, and being a young adult is figuring out what you like and trial and error, essentially. In terms of how I'm feeling right now, this is the last week that I am in Oregon, and I'm going back on the 28th, and I am not exactly mentally prepared to go back to school. I'm a little bit scared. I've always been that person who gets like anxiety, stress dreams about school. The 2 weeks before school starts, always like I would get nightmares about being stuck in the hall. I don't know if anyone relates to this or if I'm just insane, but I lost a whole week of my summer vacation back in the States because of, surprise, surprise, I got so lucky, and the night I was supposed to fly back to Oregon was the night of the global IT outage, so they pushed back my flight 1 whole week. So I kind of feel like, damn, I need that extra week, but school starts on September 2nd, so I'm just not mentally prepared. But then again, who is mentally prepared to go back to school, even though it is a privilege? It's just, I really enjoyed the trees, and look, there's a bird right there, it's so beautiful. I really took living in this pristine nature for granted, and it really took me moving to Playmobil Legoland Holland for me to realize how lucky I was to grow up in this environment. Because I think as a kid, maybe you like intelligently understand that obviously not everyone lives in the same area or the same way that you do, but I think it takes actually living a different lifestyle to realize perhaps how good you had it. You have to put everything into perspective, is what I'm learning, and it's never that serious. I kind of deviated from the original question, but overall is I'm doing good right now. I'm a little bit afraid, I'm kind of sad to go back, but I think that's normal. So next question. Hello, I am back in my student room. I'm also bald, and I'm currently editing the video right now, so it's like videoception. But I wanted to end this video on some more rapid fire questions because there were a few like quickie questions, so I'll get these out of the way. This one says, how many languages can you speak? So English, of course, is my language that I can do everything in, most fluent. Then would be Japanese and Dutch. The thing is with Japanese is that I only have ever spoken it more in like a colloquial, like friend or family type situation, so I'm not sure if I could speak it formally constantly, like in an office situation, but I can read and write in that language. I also did it for my IB diploma. And then finally is Dutch, which I understand literally everything in Dutch, and I can speak it if prompted. For some reason, my brain only switches into Dutch if someone speaks to me in Dutch first. Like, I will never initiate a conversation in Dutch. A little bit weird. And then finally, if you speak to me in Spanish or Italian, I will understand. I'm able to speak everyday things in Spanish and Italian in like order and stuff like that. And that is my language tier list currently. Next is Fab Cafe in Amsterdam, or I'm not sure if this is a typo, favorite cafe in Amsterdam. So I'm just gonna tell you my favorite cafe, or one of them, because I kind of want to gatekeep my favorite cafes. Maybe there'll be a video about all the best cafes in Amsterdam, but who knows. Actually, let me show you the bakery I got my snack at today. Ignore the oily bag, but Fort Nathan, very good croissants. It's kind of squished because it was in my backpack, but trust that it is delicious. This is going away for later. It's my reward for being done with studying. Finally, if you could listen to one song again, I know the name of the song. It's called Present, but I don't remember the Japanese guy's name off the top of my head. It's called Present by Yukihiro Takahashi. The first time I heard this song, I literally cried, and I feel like this song makes you reflect and think about your life and the current stage of life that you're in. This one. Okay, I can't actually listen to this song because I can't be in my feels right now, but just trust it's good. I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much if you watched to the end. It's a lot of talking in this video. You could technically listen to this as a podcast if you want to. If you listen to this while you're cleaning or doing your laundry, I'd be very flattered. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers again. That is crazy. At the point of editing this, we're at 1,200 subscribers about. So our high school is getting bigger. We're enrolling more students. And I'll definitely see you soon with another really fun video. So thank you so much for sticking around. Whether if you've been here since 100 subscribers or you just got here, I appreciate you and see you soon. Bye!